Yo, got a video for y'all. This video is one of my most anticipated videos just for myself that I've recorded so far. Hold on, let me change this right here because I've already made a mistake. Anyway, we got the top 100 NBA players after the 2023-2024 NBA season is over. Because even if it's not over tonight, the Mavericks are not coming back. So usually all season people start making top 100, and I was eager to do it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do mine. Hopefully this does well. If you like the video, then hit the like button and subscribe, man. Besides that, we're gonna go and get started. Now the only reason this 102, 101 is because I did forget two players I added later on the list, and I'll tell you who those two players are. And I'll go through like criteria and stuff like throughout the video and stuff like that. But let me go and get into it. 102, Kelly Oubre. I ain't know how to rank Kelly Oubre because like obviously at the start of the season he was going crazy, but after that he wasn't doing nothing. So I put him 102. Also in the playoffs, he actually played pretty solid defense. I could put him a little higher, but it's not really a big deal. 101 is Vucevic. Now for the actual top 100. 101 Hardenstein of the Knicks. Now I'm pretty sure the Knicks is the only team on this list that has 6 players. Yes, they are. Knicks are the only team on this list that have 6 players. 99, we got Trey Murphy. 98, we got Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, obviously, down season, very down season. And even though he started playing better at the second half of the season, that 0 for 10 in the closeout game can't put you any higher than that, man. 97, we got Daniel Gafford. Actually, the Mavericks may no, the Mavericks have like 5. Never mind, the Mavericks have 5 players. 96, Keegan Murray. 95, Miles Bridges. 94, Emmanuel Quickly. 93, PJ Washington. I think PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford only made the list because, what they did in the playoffs and stuff like that. Playoffs really matter for me. So if you play good in the playoffs, you're gonna be a little higher. If you play bad in the playoffs, you're probably gonna be a little lower unless you were hurt. 92, Mike Conley. 91, 91, Austin Reeves. 90, Lou Dort. I was kind of confused on Lou Dort because if you look at his stats, he only averages 10 points per game. And I know he's like top 3 perimeter defender in the league probably. But is that enough to to put me? Oh my God, I said that completely wrong. For me to put him higher than 90, I don't think so. Because you got someone like 89, Colin Sexton, who not only can play defense, but he scores. Herb Jones, better defender. 87, Brooke Lopez. I almost said Robin Lopez. His shooting fell off this year. His defense is falling off this year. But I don't know if that's really his fault. Maybe he can go back up next year. I don't know. 86, Jalen Suggs. I feel like he's a little bit overrated. Not much of a scorer. He can defend, but he's not. I wouldn't rely on him to guard like someone like Donovan Mitchell. That's the reason Donovan Mitchell had a good series against the Magic. So he's going at 86. 85 is Dante DiVincenzo. Dante DiVincenzo's playoff performance was crazy. Like the fact that he's putting up like 20s and 30s, like a couple games a series, that was insane. 84 Derek Lively, third best player on the Mavericks in my opinion. Yeah, he just showed up very well in the playoffs, and obviously he was getting the regular season too, but still. 83 Tobias Harris, one of the biggest drop offs besides probably like Klay Thompson, some players we'll get to later. Tobias Harris just kind of sucks now. In the playoffs, he didn't do anything. He had 0 points in that game 6. He averaged 17 points per game, but that's not enough, man. Like you don't do anything else at all. 82 Terry Rozier. After he got to the Heat, he played horrible. 81 RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is one of the players I added. I feel like I needed to add him because I feel like ever since he got to the Raptors, he started playing a little better. Also, his defense is kind of unrecognized, so 81's a good spot for him. 80 Nas Reed. 79 Josh Hart. 78 Fred VanVleet. I don't like inefficient players. That's why I have Fred VanVleet so low. Maybe y'all would put him a little bit higher, but not me. 77 D'Angelo Russell. I was kind of conflicted because I was like, I'm a Lakers fan. I don't know if I'm being biased with this D-Lo pick, but I think he's better than everybody above him. I'll pretty much choose everybody above him, and under him, above him. Um, Actually, it depends. Like you, obviously, like if you're talking about the Knicks specifically, you will take Josh Hart. The Timberwolves specifically, you're taking Nas Reed. But still, 76, Jeremy Grant. He averaged like 22 points per game, but it was on the Trailblazers, and that's why Anthony Simons is right above him at 75. Y'all both in the Trailblazers just doing whatever. Excuse me. 74, Aaron Gordon. It's Aaron Gordon. I mean, in the playoffs, he played horribly. Couldn't really shoot, and that's why they lost the series. I'm gonna be honest. 73 is Marcus Smart. As you can see, I added him. I forgot about Marcus Smart when I was initially doing my list because he was hurt most of the year, and that's why he's at 73. You'd probably be closer to 50 or closer to 60s, I would say, if he wasn't hurt. 72, Walker Kessler. He played a little bit worse this year. Kyle Kuzma. I could have put him higher, but he's on the Wizards, and boy, they need someone to score, so it's got to be Kuzma. He's not averaging 20 points on any other team. I'm guarantee you that. 70, Chris Middleton. I was kind of conflicted, right? Because Chris Middleton in the playoffs actually played pretty well, but Chris Middleton in the regular season, I just don't know if Chris Middleton is doing that with Giannis on the court. I'll just say that. 69, Kobe White. 68, Franz Wagner. I don't know how to feel about Franz Wagner, especially after this playoff performance. 67, Nick Claxton. A little follow from last season, just like Walker Kessler. 66, Jalen Green. He probably would have been way lower if he didn't have that end of the season run. 65, James McDaniels. James McDaniels in the playoffs played great defense. Even when they lost to the Mavericks, at least he was trying. Like, I see James McDaniels hustle on defense, bro. The only thing is, specifically in the series against Dallas, it looked like he wasn't doing anything if he wasn't playing defense. So, that's why he's at 65. 64, Cam Thomas. He averaged 20 points per game, maybe 21 points per game. And you can say he's on the Nets, but the Nets actually have some solid players. So, I don't know. I think Cam Thomas is a little better than some of those 20-point per game scorers like Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons I mentioned earlier. Shet, 63, shot blocker. Also, I really like versatile players. The more versatile players tend to be over just the scorers. Know what I'm saying? I put Shet at 63. I think he's a little bit overrated. I feel like in the Maverick series he should have done more, but it is what it is. He's only a rookie, so I'm not like criticizing him over it. But yeah. 62 we got OG Anunoby. If he's seen him more in the playoffs, he probably would have been higher. I'll say that for sure. 61 we got Michael Porter Jr. 60 James Harden. James Harden again fell off a little bit more than he did last season. And James Harden keeps doing this. Like every season he's been dropping off like 10 players down or 20 players down, the top 100 players ranking. And yeah, I think James Harden is not even top 50 anymore. 59 got Cade Cunningham. I feel like Cade Cunningham's a little bit overrated. Thing is with the Pistons, even though they suck, they have a little bit too many players. So it's like Cade can't have the ball that much. If Cade had the ball more, I feel like he would be averaging like 25 points, 6 and 6, like all-star numbers. But unfortunately not. 58 Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal played pretty good at the end of the season. He still averaged like 18, 19 points, I believe. I don't know, bro. Like he's definitely put better than players under him. I mean, I guess you could make an argument about OG, MPJ, Harden, or Cade, or even Shet, but I don't know. I think Bradley Beal's still like a raw scorer, and I feel like if he wasn't the third option, he'll be averaging like a good 22, 24 points. 57 J Dub, one of the most overrated players in the league. J Dub is not that good, bro. Like J Dub is solid, but y'all try to put him in these conversations that he's not in with like players that are having like the 30 to 40s range. He's not there yet. You seen against Dallas, he wasn't doing anything. Yeah. I mean, again, talking about another young player. This is not criticism, but don't put people in conversations they're not in. 56 Drew Holiday. I was considering putting him top 50, but nah. 55 Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is one of the worst playoff performers on this list. Actually, nah. I'm gonna do this right now. Drew Holiday's better than Tyler Hero. I ain't gonna lie. Like Tyler Hero in the playoffs just sucks so bad. Anyway, Drew Holiday 55, Tyler Hero 56 now. Is this unacceptable the way Tyler Hero be playing, bro? 54 Evan Mobley. I know against the Celtics he played pretty well, but I still think Jared Allen's above him, and I think he needs to become a full time center. Whether or not the Cavs will break up their little big four, I don't know, but I think Evan Mobley needs to play center. Where am I? Oh, okay, 52 Darius Garland. By the way, I did not do this on purpose. I just don't think Darius Garland is that good. I think he's barely better than Jared Allen or Evan Mobley. That's the only reason he's a couple spots above him. 51 Zach LaVine. Healthy Zach LaVine is still a great scorer, despite the criticism and his like numbers and stuff like that. 50 Mikal Bridges. 49 CJ McCollum. 48 Sengun. Um, 47 Desmond Bain. 46 LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball could have been higher if he was healthy. But we do this every year where LaMelo Ball is not healthy and then he lands in the 40 to 50 range. You gotta stay healthy, man. 45 Draymond Green. I feel like Draymond's becoming underrated. Still a very great defender. Probably would have made an all defensive team if he reached the 65 game mark. And this is one of his best shooting seasons since like 17, I believe, 2017. And no one really talks about it because Draymond had his off the court issues, whether that's choking somebody or punching somebody. But Draymond's still a great player. 44 Rudy Gobert. I think he's in the perfect spot. Even though he won Defensive Player of the Year, he still sucks on the offense and one trick pony. Miles Turner 43. The way he played in the playoffs was insane. Gotta put him at 43. 42 Derek White. He can do everything. 41 Scotty Barnes. I think Scotty Barnes is a little bit overrated. He's not a great scorer. He can get to the rim and stuff like that, but I don't know. He's not fast. He can't shoot. He's not a great playmaker. So I think he's a little bit overrated. 40 DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan is a little bit underrated, but I can see why. 39 Brandon Ingram. He had a down year, but he didn't fall that much. 38 Jaren Jackson Jr. If the Grizzlies weren't as bad, I feel like his impact would have been more recognized. He did average like 22 points per game, I believe. And he still played pretty solid defense. It wasn't nearly as great as last year, but still. 37 Lauri Markkanen. The only reason he's above Triple J because I like Lauri Markkanen's efficiency with his scoring. Like Lauri Markkanen is him. 36 Jamal Murray. I was completely on Jamal Murray because like he was playing through an injury in the playoffs, but you know everybody loves to say everybody's playing through an injury in the playoffs, and I don't know. I think he's at a perfect spot. I think you could argue again, Lauri Markkanen, Triple J. I'm gonna end it right there actually. I think you can argue those two are above Jamal Murray, but I don't know. It's like how do you play so good against the Lakers? Actually, he didn't even play that good against the Lakers. His efficiency was down, but I don't know how to rank Jamal Murray because like if I do this tomorrow, he could be lower. If I do it next week, he could be higher. I don't know. 35, we got DeJounte Murray. I feel like he's kind of underrated. Play defense and scores like 19 points per game. Like, let's be for real. 34, we got Wemby. Probably the best defender in the league and averaged like 20 to 21 points. Great rookie year. One of the best rookie seasons of all time. 33, Sabonis. Even though it's slightly overrated, 33 is still a good spot for him. 32, Julius Randle. I could have put him higher, but he didn't play like the end of the season at all, and he didn't. Actually, he didn't play since like February, bro, and he missed the playoffs, so I had to put him down a little bit just because I don't know where I would sit with him. 31 De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is cool, but that Kings run might be done, bro. The Kings might have to blow it up. I ain't gonna lie, bro. The Kings aren't doing it for me. 30 we got Kristaps. You have 20 points per game as a third option. You see what he did in game 1 and 2 that helped the Celtics win. Like Kristaps is very important, and I feel like if he played game 3, it would have been a completely different game. But hey, it's whatever. 29, we got Kawhi. The most overrated player in the league right now is Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is not top 20. He shouldn't have made all NBA team at all. Like, look at Kawhi's stats. He averaged like what 23 points. Cool. But like, if you look at the Clippers roster outside of Kawhi, PG, and Harden, and I guess Norman Powell, who else is supposed to score, bro? It's not like his efficiency was great either. Like, we keep giving Kawhi these props, even though he's missing the playoffs every season, bro. I'm not doing that no more. PG's only right above him because he actually plays. But PG, he's a choke artist. He's gonna be one of the biggest choke artists of all time when everything is done. Paulo Banchero's 27, barely above PG and Kawhi. Cat 26. Cat probably would have been slightly higher if he played good in the conference finals, but he didn't. 25 Trae Young. Nah, actually, I'm gonna swap that. I think Cat's better than Trae Young. I think Trae Young. Whoa. I think Trae Young's a little overrated. I mean, he's cool. He can score. He can get assists, but he's one of the worst defenders in NBA history. So, gotta put him at 26. 24, we got Jimmy Butler. The only reason Bam is above him is because defense. I know what Jimmy does in the playoffs, but I don't really. I'm going by this year at the same time. I'm kind of going off past years, kind of, but mainly this year. Like, I would say like 80% this year and then 20% what they've done in the past. That's why you see this name right here. But anyway, I think since Bam had almost, I wouldn't say all defensive player, defensive player of the year type season, but like almost that, I think I would put him one spot above Jimmy. Siakam at 22. Siakam in the playoffs went crazy. Obviously went unrecognized because it's Pacers, but it's whatever. Tyrese Halliburton one spot above him, just because like Tyrese Halliburton had his good games. Obviously he's gonna get the assists and stuff like that. But there were some games where he's inefficient. There were some games where his defense was horrible. So I think he's only one spot above Siakam, and I think the best player on the team is gonna be a real conversation going the next season. Now we got the top 20. At number 20, we got Zion Williamson. Even though Zion Williamson only averaged like 23 points, you gotta realize how many players the Pelicans have, bro. Like, the Pelicans have a bunch of players that can score, a bunch of players that need the ball, there's a bunch of players that need the ball, like CJ, Brandon Ingram, Zion, obviously. They got Valanciunas, Herb Jones, Dyson Daniels, Trey Murphy. Like, all these players need the ball in their hand. Or not necessarily even need the ball in their hand. Like, some of these players are young, so I'm trying to see what they can do with the ball. Then, yeah, I don't know. The Pelicans just have too many players in general that can play in a rotation. So I feel like they need to trade some, like Jose Alvarado. Like, there's no reason why he should be in and out the lineup the whole season for the past 2 years. Go in and trade him. But, yeah, I feel like Zion is 20. We seen that in the playing tournament, where he was about to eliminate the Lakers by himself, bro. 19, you got Tyrese Maxey. This might be a little bit biased. I'm a Tyrese Maxey fan, but bro, did y'all see the way Tyrese Maxey was playing during the playoffs? He only had like one bad game. Tyrese Maxey was playing great, especially that one game where he turned to Tracy McGrady. He led the Sixers to that win. I think it was Game 5. Yeah, it was Game 5. Like, Tyrese Maxey went crazy in the playoffs, and that's why he's here. Also, he just averaged like 26 in the regular season. So, yeah. 18, we got Dame. I ain't gonna lie. If Dame didn't have the name with him, I probably would put Maxey above him. But, hey, I'll give Dame the benefit of the doubt, I guess. Even though Dame had horrible efficiency in the regular season, and his defense was horrible. I'll give him a pass, I guess. Anyway, 17, we got Devin Booker. Devin Booker, I ain't gonna lie. Anyone that's 11 through 17 could easily be top 10, and I wouldn't argue against you if you put them top 10. But this is my list. I don't think Devin Booker is the same as the players above him. If you really look at Devin Booker's game, he's solid at defense. He's solid at playmaking. But he's really only a scorer. That's the only reason that's a 17 for me. 16, we got Jaylen Brown. We've seen what Jaylen Brown's been doing in the playoffs. Throughout the playoffs specifically, just the playoffs, he's been their best player. defensively, offensively, and even though other players got playmaking, other players are better than him at playmaking, players are better than him at rebounding and stuff like that. I think Jaylen Brown has been the best player on the Celtics throughout the playoffs, and just that alone makes me believe that he's 16, better than Devin Booker, better than Dame, and stuff like that. 15 got Kyrie. If you flip Kyrie and Jaylen Brown, I really wouldn't care. Just because Jaylen Brown's been outperforming Kyrie all finals. But I'm not. Actually, no. I'm going to do that. I'm going to flip that. No, I'm going to flip that. The only reason I was thinking that I should put Kyrie above Jaylen Brown is just because I was thinking that Kyrie has been consistent on playoffs, but he hasn't. I forgot. He's had a couple games where he was like, where's Kyrie at? And they'll lose that game. I don't like that from Kyrie. So I'm going to put him at 16. Also, his defense has to be good throughout the playoffs, but I got to put Jaylen Brown above you. And 14 got John Morant. Now, obviously, John Morant only played a couple games this year, right? He probably only played like 8 games, I think. But if John Morant's healthy, he's better than Jaylen Brown, Kyrie, Devin Booker. He's probably better than a couple of players I put above him. Like, I'm going to be honest. I think John Morant is kind of more, there was a point where he was underrated. I feel like there was certain people putting John Morant in conversations, or not putting John Morant in conversations that he should have been in. But that was earlier this season and stuff like that. Just wait until the Grizzlies come back next season. There's a reason why I have 4 Grizzlies players on this list. Anyway, 13 we got Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell played great in the playoffs when he was healthy. Even though they struggled against a Magic team that don't have shooting. I think the Cavs did pretty good for, like, they lost to the Celtics. Like, the Celtics are about to win the finals. You can't really blame them for that, right? So, I think Donovan Mitchell was at a good spot, and the Cavs. On 12, we got LeBron James. I think LeBron James is at 12 just because, like, if you look at the playoffs, even though he played good, he didn't play bad at all in the playoffs. Like, if you compare it to these other players, and I know the player right above him didn't make the playoffs, but if you compare it to these other players, he probably played the worst, right? Yeah, he probably played the worst outside of number 7. Like, also, like, everything about LeBron's game is like it's slowing down. Like, obviously his efficiency is going up a little bit because efficiency at the rim, efficiency at the 3-point line is going up. Defense slowing down though, playmaking slowing down, rebounding slowing down. Like, and also players are just getting better. It's not like a LeBron's trash thing. LeBron could be at 10. I don't see LeBron being higher than 10, honestly. But I wouldn't be mad if someone put LeBron at 10. By the way, I did not do 10 through 12 intentionally. 11 you got Steph. Steph kinda overrated because some people are still putting Steph over Jalen Brunson, Steph over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And he's not better than them. Like, I'm gonna be honest, Steph this season only averaged like 26, 27 points per game. There was a point in the season where he just looked gassed, where he didn't look like he could do anything. And y'all are saying like, or not y'all. I heard people saying like, oh, their team is so bad that Steph can be tired. Like, if you go back to that 2021 season where the Warriors missed the playoffs, Steph was averaging like 32 points per game, carrying the Warriors almost every game. I know Steph is older, and that's a lot to ask, but he dropped a whole 6 points from that. Like, this is not the same stuff. It's literally just not the same stuff. Even as 2022, it's not the same stuff, bro. So, yes, Steph at 11. And number 10, top 10, we got Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's above them two just because I feel like out of the two old people I just said, Kevin Durant has had the smallest fall off, and he hasn't really had his fall off. Like, honestly, it's just like he's slower. That's pretty much the only thing. Kevin Durant kind of got the Devin Booker thing though. Like, he's solid at defense, he's solid at playmaking, he's solid at rebounding, but he's mainly just a scorer. So you gotta put him at number 10. Number 9. I don't know if this is too early, but I'm gonna go with Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards had a great playoffs, even though he struggled against the Mavericks. This is his first real playoff run. Can't really give him that much criticism. Also, Anthony Edwards literally eliminated KD. So it would be weird for me not to say Anthony Edwards or outperform KD. He outperformed every player on the Suns. Like it would be horrendous for me to say Anthony Edwards is worse than Kevin Durant. Like that would be crazy, right? But Anthony Edwards is not the same as like a Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, because even though his main thing is scoring, he's a great rebounder. He showed throughout the playoffs that he can get boards when he needs to, and and he's good at defense. Even though he struggled to guard Kyrie, I feel like that's the coach's fault. I feel like in the Timberwolves series, Anthony Edwards should have been guarding Luka. Jay McDaniels should have been guarding Kyrie, and I know Jay McDaniels is 6'10", and that may be a mismatch, but still. I don't know. I feel like they played that series wrong in general. Oh, let me restart just in case it's overheating. But yeah, Anthony Edwards had a great playoffs, and even before that, when Cat was hurt, before the regular season ended, he was carrying the Timberwolves. He made sure that the Timberwolves stayed afloat. They didn't completely fall apart. So I got Anthony Edwards at 9. Another playoff player that played great, Jalen Brunson at number 8. Jalen Brunson had like crazy amount of 40-point games, and this is a dude who didn't even make the conference finals. Imagine if the Knicks managed to make the conference finals, bro. Like he probably would beat the 40 point games record. And also the games where he played bad, like the Knicks still won just because Jalen Brunson knows how to play the game the right way. Also, he wasn't getting picked apart on defense like you see these other small players getting picked apart on defense. I'm not saying he's a great defender, but still, that does play a part. Number 7 got Jason Tatum. I was considering putting Jason Tatum lower just because all playoffs long he's basically been struggling for a shot, like literally the whole playoffs. But hey, the Celtics about to win the championship, and to be fair, he has been doing other things like play great defense, like Jason Tatum needs credit. Like people were criticizing him last year for being a bad playmaker and stuff like that. I don't think you can call Jason Tatum a bad playmaker anymore. Rebounding wise, even though he's 6'10", obviously he's supposed to get boards. Great rebounder, but again, if Jason Tatum just like shot consistently throughout the playoffs, he probably would have been top 5. But unfortunately, he didn't. So yeah. Number 6. This is not a bias pick. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is kind of getting underrated. Like Anthony Davis in the playoffs went crazy. Every time we get to the playoffs, Anthony Davis rebounds skyrocket. He's one of the best defense players in the league. I would say he's pretty much like second or third, behind Wemby, obviously. And I don't think there's anyone. Yeah, I think Wemby's the only defender in the NBA that's better than AD. And like I said, AD was just playing great in the playoffs, and kind of went unrecognized, but it's whatever. Now with the top 5. At number 5, we got Shea. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, number 5. I feel like him or Luka should have won MVP. Shea might be too consistent. I'm gonna be honest. Like if you look at that Dallas series, there was no crazy Shea game, and that might be a problem. Like I don't know if that's necessarily his fault, but like we should have got like a 40-point Shea game. Because I wanted to see that series go 7, because that series was actually very competitive. But I don't know. I feel like if he like truly elevated his game from what he did in the regular season, OKC may have even won that series. Yeah, but he like just kind of stayed the same as the regular season. He's too consistent, man. And I originally had him at 4, but I was thinking like this man Embiid's at number 4, was averaging 36 points per game before he got hurt. Like, you really think that wouldn't have like pretty much stayed the same? Maybe it dropped down to 34, but maybe it could have dropped down to 34. But Joel Embiid was averaging a crazy amount of points, and it's just Joel Embiid in general. So I had to put him at number 4. Only reason he's not top 3 is because he was hurt in the playoffs and we didn't really get to see what a healthy Embiid could do. Oh my god. My bad. What a healthy Embiid could do against the Knicks. Because I think if Joel Embiid was even 80% healthy in that series, they will beat the Knicks. They already went 6 games. Most of the games were close. The only game that wasn't close was what game 3. Yeah, game 3. So I think Embiid basically a top 3 player when healthy, but hey, it is what it is. Number 3 we got Giannis. I feel like Giannis is kind of getting underrated, just because like if you look at all these top player talks, no one is talking about Giannis. But Giannis is still 2-time MVP, Defense Player of the Year, won championship a couple years ago. Last year, even though he was playing hurt and stuff like that, still averaged like 20 and 20. Like Giannis is a rebound machine in the playoffs too. Um, Again, the only thing about Giannis is that he's not clutch at all. Like I'm gonna be honest, it still makes me so mad that last year, when they were playing the Heat, you get moments where Giannis passing the ball immediately the Chris Middleton because he's so scared to shoot. That's the reason they got Dame, in my opinion. If the Bucks beat the Heat last year, well, first of all, if they beat the Heat last year, they're probably going to the finals. But if they just don't trade for Dame. Like Dame is probably, where would Dame go? That's a good question. I don't know. That's a question for another day. All right, 1 and 2, you can really go either one. I was 100% thinking that Luka would have been number 1 before I made this video. But after watching, what was it, game 3 against the Celtics, I can't put Luka number 1. I gotta put Jokic number 1 because Jokic can never truly have a bad game. Like even when he does shoot bad, he still has a triple double. He still has 16 rebounds, 12 assists. Like I don't know, and even though Jokic, I wouldn't call him a good defender, Jokic never gets cooked on defense. That's another thing. And even though they were playing the Lakers, and Lakers not a team that's not gonna they're not gonna bring out Jokic to the 3-point line to try to like make him play defense. Jokic never gets exposed on defense or whatever. But yeah, Jokic just is a walking triple double. And even though the Timberwolves kind of slowed him down in that series, he was still playing great. If you look at his stats in that series, his stats were still good. Like I don't know, you can't really necessarily say it about Luka. Luka, bad defender. I'm trying to like leave out the antics that he did, like yelling at his coaches and stuff like that, yelling at the refs. I'm trying to leave that out, but definitely a bad defender. And um, sometimes efficiency can be bad, but maybe that's because he's hurt. I don't know. But it really just comes down to that, like who has, bro? How do I explain that? How do I explain it? I sound dumb right now. Jokic just being, I don't know, bro. I just have Jokic above Luka, man. I think Jokic is slightly better than Luka. Again, it could be vice versa, but it's whatever. Um, also again, I would have Embiid over Giannis if Embiid was healthy throughout the whole entire season and they beat the Knicks. But hey, it's whatever. Actually, hold on, because I know someone's gonna call me out and be like, "Oh, you're contradicting yourself. Giannis was hurt too. Giannis played. Giannis is still like Giannis is still Giannis, bro. Like I don't even think he's playing it. Please like and please, oh my, bro. Please like the video if you enjoyed.